A lump of coal for everybody.
Boom.
Naughty list, all of you.
Boom. Coal again? Boom.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Welcome to the Losers Lounge.
That's great. Shut up. Everyone shut up.
Everybody quiet in here.
Everyone shut up.
This time for real, presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use that code DNVR365 when you sign up. Choose your offer and find out why, whatever the moment. Never ordinary at Bet365. Not just a Losers Lounge, a Toyota Losers Lounge. Did somebody get a little Toyota in their driveway today with the little bow on
That would
top,
make,
you know?
dude, if that had happened to me, I wouldn't be filled with rage like I am right now.
Driven by your Front Range Toyota stores, Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. It's Christmas. This show might go into beyond Christmas. I apologize for us starting the Beyond Christmas early because I don't think there's a lot of good stuff we're going to be talking about tonight. A lot of bad stuff, some concerning stuff. To help me with that, though, Brennan Vogt.
Not as down as everyone else tonight, man.
Good. Pick us up.
They split 1-1. They
Yeah,
beat Team by
home and home.
27. They lost the road game on Christmas. I wish they had won. That disappoints me. I'm in a bad mood. I'm not going to tell everyone else to be happy, but they split. Saw it coming.
Over here, we got D-Line Co. He is mad.
That's a good measured take. You're right. And I don't fucking care.
Yeah,
I'm so
I get it.
mad. How do they do that?
Calm down.
I'm so mad right now. I hate all of the Nuggets. All the Nuggets suck.
Yeah, very upset with them at the moment. And then Superstar Dev rounds out the show.
That truly fucking stunk. That was not fun. It really
Dude, I
was
can't believe how
not a
mad I
fun
am
night.
in this hat.
We got 2 F-bombs on Christmas Day. We've had a lot of eggnog today. A lot of Grandpa's cough syrup. There's a lot of takeaways to get to from this one, unfortunately, but we'll go to a fast breakdown. I promise I'll keep it short. There wasn't a lot of good notes, to be honest with you, or bad ones even, just repeating ones. Rough start. Lots of MPJ, no defense. Remember MPJ had like 5 shots, 3 turnovers. Like they was almost like they were running the offense through MPJ to start. Very, very strange. Rush checked into the game. The energy did shift a little bit. Nuggets weren't getting any stops, but they were scoring quickly. And the first quarter was 38-34 Nuggets. It's a track meet, fellas. Nuggets have been scoring a lot, so track meet, I feel all right about it. But then second quarter, Murray just not scoring, and Bradley Beal started heating it up. Man, Bradley Beal, when he has it going, he's such a smooth player. Him and Booker both, they're so smooth, and he got comfortable tonight in that second quarter, and he started going. But the Nuggets did storm back to end the second half. That was the best and maybe only good stretch of basketball they played. In the second half, they cut it to 56-58. On to the third quarter, back and forth for a little bit. But Aaron Gordon goes out with a calf strain? Come on. Come on, man. And then the Suns make a run. Nuggets got cold and started turning it over, and the Suns went on their run. 85-78, the Phoenix Suns. And in the fourth quarter, no Jokic, no rebounding. Suns just got second chance points every time. They didn't even get, it wasn't second chance points. They got as many chances as it would take to score. So if that was 2 chances, 3 chances, 4, it was just like, throw something up there. They missed, grab the rebound. We'll keep it going. And the game was out of hand. You bring the starters back in. You hope for a push. A push was not there. And the Nuggets, our beloved Nuggets, almost get mundered on Christmas, 110-100. All right, let's go to Red Hawk Roofing big takeaways. Dev, start us off.
My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway is, what a rough night for Project Dynasty. And not only Project Dynasty, I might go on to say that there might have not been a bright spot for the Nuggets for the entire night. That was a vibeless game. That was a rough game to watch. And I cannot believe that you guys had to have such a great day, possibly. And if you didn't have a bad day, it finished with a horrible ending. That was not fun in the slightest. I want the vibes back. I want them back.
It was a vibeless one. That's what I mean, man. Like, if you really were looking for the bright spot tonight, there was just less dull spots. No real bright spots. All right, D-Line, I'm nervous for what your Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway is going to be.
All right. Listen. I had 2 adult beverages.
Okay. It's not that
I
many.
had a little bit of a rough Christmas.
Yeah.
I was looking to the Nuggets to sort of lift the spirits, keep the vibe merry and bright. Didn't happen.
No.
There's 82 games. This was not a good game. I am the most staunch Jamal defender on this panel. And there was one difference between last game and this game. There was one difference between last game and this game.
Rotationally, at least, yeah.
Just go to
All right, that was it. It was Jamal last game.
I just can't. I can't do it. I can't
All right.
do it.
Well, we're
I
gonna
can't
get
do
to
it.
we're gonna get to that. Murray had a rough one tonight for sure, but I mean, I wasn't the only one. Vogt. Do you have a bright and shiny?
No, too many turnovers. 16 turnovers for the Nuggets tonight.
Was that all? Felt like way more.
It did feel like more. You want to know a funny one too? You mentioned the rebounding, which I completely agree with. Getch's team had more offensive rebounds tonight.
That's insane,
The
man.
Denver Nuggets. Now I don't know what the second chance points numbers actually turn. Whatever.
Yeah.
The timely ones were there because I agree with you. I have the same note. Really, turnovers for me, and turnovers and rebounding to me feel like the controllable swing factors that Denver doesn't always control. To me, they can rebound better. They can avoid turning it over. And when they don't, they lose. There are some defensive deficiencies that may just be roster deficiencies. But to me, the turnovers and the rebounding are the things that sometimes they seize. And when they do, they cruise. And when they don't, they lose. And they didn't tonight. And not that surprised they lost. Also, I agree with everything you said about Jamal.
That was good though. For a second there, you were like a Who in Whoville.
Yeah,
Christmas,
Everything
baby.
kind of rhyming a little
Christmas.
bit, you know. It is Christmas.
Put this hat back on.
You guys are really down bad. I'm pretty down bad.
You guys
Me?
even wearing your
What did I
hats. That's
do?
how bad it is. Adam
I
and
can't do
Vogt
it.
have abandoned their elf hats.
I'm
That's how
abandoning
bad
it,
is.
man. It's no longer Christmas. Christmas is over. Christmas is canceled.
Canceled.
Nuggets have canceled Christmas. My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway. This team just... I have such a hard time buying into them. And, like, people have, like, reached out to me, whenever I'll say something negative about the Nuggets, Adam is just trashing on them for clicks. You guys realize people love it when the Nuggets win. They tune in a lot more when they do. They tune in a lot more when things are
I'll tell you
high.
what, we
They're
don't
not-
do anything for clicks.
don't do
We're
literally
just-
anything.
We can't.
It would be, you would get way more clicks if I was like, it's fine. Everything's fine. But the Nuggets have a million problems, man. Jamal Murray, high on the list. The ball doesn't pop. The offense doesn't hum. They've been scoring so much lately. Barely got to 100, only thanks to garbage time tonight. Christian Braun, what happened to him? It's kind of disappeared. Peyton Watson, no confidence, not making, he had a good, I think, last like 5 minutes. He made a real big impact on Kevin Durant finally. Julian Strawther can't rebound, can't really defend. Like, just the Nuggets have so many issues that when you see a game like this, it's honestly hard to have a Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway because you want to be like, it was that thing. They didn't do that thing. But my list is actually really long of things they didn't do. And unfortunately, it's not like this is the first time all year. No, the list has been long for a while. So I'm concerned about our beloved Denver Nuggets. It is just one game. They did just beat this team. But the fact that they couldn't get stops, couldn't get rebounds, ball wasn't popping, offense looks like a slog. How can a Jokic team look like a slog?
I don't know, dude. Even he had a problem. He wasn't even great tonight.
He missed 9 shots when tonight. He took a lot of threes, 25 points, 15 rebounds for him. I think he's at the bottom of my list of complaints tonight, though, to
But
be honest
still,
with you.
dude, he's on it.
But still not a great one. So that's my Red Hawk Roofing big takeaways. Sadly, this game doesn't surprise me. It just doesn't. Last game surprised me more than this one did in a weird way, and that's concerning.
Yeah, so many. You just talked about there not being a single thing that you could pinpoint of like why it went bad. I think that's what makes it scary for Jamal Murray because really, if you look at it, the rebounding was not there. They were careless turnovers, very sloppy play. A lot of guys did not step up. There was not many, players that did step up in this game or have those type of moments. But that's where he's supposed to come in. That's where he has to be the difference because we just seen this team 2 nights ago. Vibes, playing through each other, playing for each other, playing well, winning the game. That was going in one day. And they've been inconsistent all year long, but it seemed like they were starting to get things going. They were starting to get on the right track. And then you just add one piece and it changes the entire mix. So I don't think this was a Jamal Murray only game.
No, for
but
sure
he
not.
surely did not help.
Yeah. I mean, Jamal Murray looked very slow. Jamal Murray looked like, he wasn't contributing to the offense. He got a couple shots off, but he certainly wasn't stirring the drink, which is what you're hoping to have out of your starting point guard. More often than not, Russell Westbrook was given the control of the offense, and Jamal Murray was just playing off into the corner, as a two guard. Man, I'm a little drunk. I'm like really stumbling over my words. Very frustrating though. Like very, very frustrating. Like I saw a lot of people tweeted me this. If the ankle's not right, don't play. Like if that's the answer, like don't play.
You think that's what it is though?
I don't know, man. He was very slow tonight. He was very indecisive. He was very he was playing in the background.
He was grabbing at the ankle in the fourth for whatever it's worth. Or
listen, I mean, like, that may have been an issue, but overall, like the team was just lifeless tonight. It's just why the Denver Nuggets do this to me on Christmas? Over and over and over, except for when they have the most iconic moment of their entire franchise against Landry Shamet years ago. It's just really, you just don't know what you're going to get out of this squad on Christmas. It's so rude, man. I don't appreciate it.
Yeah, I think if you look back, if you just kind of step back, man, the Nuggets have had a lot of these lifeless games, know? Like they beat if we just rewind it, Wizards game, lifeless. They lose to the Wizards, snap a 16-game lose streak. Hawks game, lively, I guess. It was like they were doing great. It was a blowout win. Clippers, another one. It was a really good one. The Kings, lucky to have won it. Remember they had this come back and eke out a 1-point win? Maybe. No vibes. Portland, no, I'm saying it was a 1-point game that they did not look like they had life to them. You go to the trail. What's that?
I disagree. They were up by 20 in that game. They beat the brakes off the Clippers and the Hawks.
They were up 20 in the first quarter, lost the next 3 by a lot.
And then they won the game.
By 1 point.
Yeah.
So you thought that was an impressive win?
Yeah, they won the game. Yeah.
But was it an impressive win? There's impressive wins.
I'm down for Vogt.
I was not bothered by that win. On the backs of the Clippers and the Hawks win, I thought it was a nice win.
So you go to Portland is a bad loss,
terrible loss, and I'm very mad about that.
And then you would say and then the New Orleans Pelicans who have 5 wins that win in overtime. So there's another one. So even if you're disagreeing with me on one game, you're still going that 4 of the last 6 games or 7 games were kind of lifeless, and that's what's concerning.
I don't know about that. Two of those teams they beat by like 50 points.
Yeah.
So thank you.
So I don't know if those were lifeless performances.
I said 4 of 7. I'm fine. I'll keep going with it. I don't mind. So I'm saying
I need this.
So you're saying that the Hawks one was lively, the Clippers one was lively, and you're giving them the Suns one as well. That's 3. Yeah, so the only one we disagree with is on the Kings one that they won by 1.
Which they did almost blow that lead, and then they didn't.
Okay, but is that a lively win?
I thought it was a fine win on the road.
So are the Nuggets playing lively basketball?
I think they are, yeah. I think they just lost a split against a team that they just beat the brakes off of, and then they went on the road and they played a road game at Christmas. I don't like the way they played. I wish they had won. I hate that they lost.
This jingle is just too much, man. It's like everyone is a little jingle.
But no, I don't.
Lifting my, it's lifting my spirits in a way that I'd never expected.
I think they just split with a team back-to-back games.
Thank you. You're right.
Maybe I'm wrong. Right. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm open to that, but I just earnestly disagree.
It's fine to disagree.
Yeah, I know.
But how was the just like the was this a good game? It's a split, but was this a good game?
No, this was a bad game today.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So either 4 of the last 7 or 3 of the last 7 have been good ones. This to me, again, the clunkiness offensively, because we know the Nuggets don't struggle to score. They get into a good rhythm, and tonight there really was only one stretch where the offense looked like it had a rhythm to it. And that's the part that's just great, because the Suns aren't a good defense. They're a terrible defense.
Yeah.
So why was it so clunky tonight?
Because their defense was very clunky. They could not stop a nosebleed. They're letting shots go up from 3. The Suns seem to make everything, but if you look at those shots, all shots were open. No one could get a stop, and that's point of attack defenders. That's where you're looking for Christian Braun to step up and do something defensively. He's been bad. Peyton Watson, he looks like a young guy out there that was just trying to survive.
Project Lottery.
On top of, and no one else is actually coming up with stops. So I felt like they started getting defeated on the defensive end, where then you started seeing a bit of hero ball offensively and just clunky. It's turnover after turnover. It's why would you take that type of shot? It's everyone seeming to just want to get it going themselves instead of the process and like running the offense, which we've seen at times. So this was no one is making the extra pass type of game, and you're not going to win when you're down already in a game, and then you're clawing back in the game with ISO basketball.
Bro,
you just don't have that.
But there was so many like like if I think back on this game, the one play that sticks out in my mind is when Jokic tried to pass the ball to Christian Braun. It just went off his hand and out of bounds.
That was Porter, yeah.
You know, or Porter, and you're like, what are we doing? What is this? You're like not even being guarded or defended.
That was the peak ineptitude of the night for sure.
Dude, there were so many times. We should have known early on. The Nuggets, every time they went in to the paint, they just the ball was separated from them. It either went out of bounds off of them, off of the they just were unable to even get a shot up. I'm very mad. I've expressed this many times. I'm slowly working it out. I love Vogt's approach to this and his large view of this game. I agree with him, but I'm really mad, and I'm really mad at the way the Nuggets approached this game. I'm really mad at how lethargic they were. I'm really mad at how pathetic they were at times. This is the type of thing where if somebody watches the game for the first time, as Adam pointed out in the pregame, this is the first time a lot of people start tuning into the NBA. The Nuggets performed the worst of any team that played on Christmas.
That part's sad. Sadly true. Accurate. The Nuggets look like the worst team today.
And they didn't there was no rhythm the entire night. There was just little moments, but they couldn't string anything together. And it just got after a while, you're like, what are we doing?
I think it was the turnovers, man.
We got a break. We got a break. We're a little long here. Try to let you finish the point. We got a break on the other side. We'll get into the individual players because honestly, I think it's the way to break this game down because everybody did something that was frustrating and concerning.
Everyone sucks.
Dylan, I think you're great. At game time, they're focused on togetherness this holiday season, meaning putting all of you and your friends together at the dopest live events in Denver.
We need some togetherness right now.
From the Nuggets to the Avs to your favorite comedy shows, your favorite musical events. Game Time is helping putting you in the best seats for the best price to the best events, even at the last second. Make sure you use the Game Time Picks filter. It helps you filter out the fluff. Back in the day when all these sites first came out, the big stress was the shop and compare. And just impossible network web you had to complete, and now you just have the Game Time Picks filter, which makes it really easy. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code DNVR for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it, boys?
It's time to die.
Yeah, that's right. It's game time, actually, Eric. Good guess, though. If you're tired of your phone bill draining your bank account, and you wish you could use that money for something more fun and exciting, Verizon feels your pain. For a limited time, new customers can get up to $800 in a prepaid MasterCard to pay off your current smartphone loan when you switch. Man, what would I do with $800? I'd give it to Dev and ask him kindly to double it. This deal won't last long. Don't get stuck on the bench. Again, if you didn't hear me, $800. Switch to Verizon today. Take control of your game plan. Visit your local Verizon store for details.
All right, back here, segment 2. Throw us a like if you're watching on Christmas. Let's start with Michael Porter Jr. He starts out this game hyper aggressive, and I actually like an aggressive Michael Porter. They need him to be aggressive.
Yeah, it felt like
he had a couple really rough, ball gets ripped right out of his hands. Some tough plays. But here's the thing: his usage in the first 5 minutes was 1,000. I don't know if he touched the ball again until the garbage time. And this is kind of the MPJ cycle. It's all right, a lot of MPJ doesn't see the ball again for however long. And then at the end, he got a bunch of buckets at the end that kind of bumped that up a little bit. But the truth was, man, there were just long stretches where you almost forget he's part of the team. He played 37 tonight, a lot of minutes.
I feel like it was very, very purposeful for them to go through Michael Porter Jr. early on in the game, especially with welcoming back Jamal Murray. Then I think that the leash got too long for Michael Porter Jr. I don't feel like it was that he just disappeared. He had some very loud turnovers in this game where it was okay, this is why we don't put you in these type of situations. He had that ISO late in the game. I feel like that was one of the changes where it was okay, we have to give up at this point. because he couldn't break himself down. He got the switch that he wanted, and he's bagless. He cannot score in those type of ways. But like 5 turnovers in this game after starting off offensively well. And then also it's a psyche thing. Like he really tricks himself out of shooting the ball late or still being part of the offense where you just want him to be engaged the entire time. So I do like the fact that they try to, find ways to get him involved. But if he's not going to be into it the entire time, it makes it very difficult for them to run around him or to like trust in him throughout those games. So you just want to see 2 halves of that. That's what it is. Like you just want that.
I loved the fact that they really wanted to feed him early because that was like the big thing that worked for them last game when Jamal was not playing. MPJ came out, knocked down shots, was super confident, was super forceful, getting into the paint, like just doing a lot of things that I don't know what it is, man. There's just like a weird chemistry thing going on right now where you're somehow adding a player like Jamal, who's a great NBA player, sucks the life out of MPJ. Early on, like Jokic wasn't doing anything because they were trying to feed Mike. It was just like this game was so bizarre in so many reasons, in so many ways, and there's so many things you can look at and be like, just flush it. It doesn't matter. But God damn it, it was Christmas against a team they just blew out.
Yeah. You have a Michael Porter thought?
Turnovers. I like that they went to him, and he actually was hitting his shots to start. He just couldn't hold on to the ball.
How come your jingle? My head does not jingle like yours jingles.
I have an expressive head.
Is that it?
I just thought I thought the turnovers were the big part. Also, defensively, he was pretty bad. Last night, 2 nights ago, he was good. Tonight, he was bad. Mike, I think this season more than ever is just a different player when Murray plays or doesn't. And if, again, before that sounds like I'm blaming Murray for what Mike does or doesn't do well, it's not about Murray's fault. It's just about how I think it changes.
Yeah.
And I just think his mindset changes. And I think sometimes Mike struggles with a tightrope walk of if I'm any less aggressive, then how into the game am I? And I thought maybe at times tonight that happened. I think he's not the highest on my list of guys that deserve coal tonight. But turnovers, he had 5 turnovers, and that
3 of them were right away.
And 3 of them were right away, and that's what put them in an early hole. And so I get it, man. It's the turnovers for me for Mike for sure, as well with the defense.
Let's go to Jamal. So here's the thing: how many fast break points would you guess the Nuggets had tonight?
Like 4.
They had 6 fast break points.
Good guess,
and I'll tell you, it was a good guess. I mean, you do as a low number. But I'll tell you, there's 2 things that I think are working against Jamal right now, or that he just is not, 3 things really, that he has a hard time overcoming. One of them is, the word's out, the Timberwolves exposed him. He can't bring the ball up full court against pressure. It takes him 15 seconds. And he's worn down by doing that. And tonight, no matter who was guarding him, they just full court press him and force somebody else to bring the ball up. Or, as was the case tonight, just walk the ball up, running basically the defensive drill, right? Just make him turn like all these times. So that part really hurts. The second part that hurts is there's a lot of non-shooters who are losing confidence. We're going to get to some of them, Peyton Watson, Christian Braun. There's a lot of guys right now that aren't spacing the floor, Russell Westbrook. And Murray is facing a crowded paint a lot, and he doesn't have the wiggle like a Westbrook to just blow through early and get to the rim. So he's meeting a lot of bodies at the rim. And then the third thing, and the most concerning one to me, the league is more physical this year.
Yep.
And Murray, again, another thing that was sort of exposed in that Timberwolves series is he's not very good against physicality. And I think those 3 things, more than Denver only got 100 points tonight, 6 fast break points. I think Jamal's fast break point split is pretty noticeable.
Yeah, I think it's noticeable. And with Jamal specifically in this one, I don't want to hear the excuse, or I can't get behind the excuse of like maybe he's still injured. He led all players in minutes tonight. Like if you're talking about like him coming back from an injury, like you limit him. You try to find different ways to like not have him out there the entire time, especially if you have a Russell Westbrook who, has been playing well and the team plays, without Jamal. So like that could have been an excuse if you're a coach to say, hey, we're going to like play Jamal in these type of minutes. But he's out there and he's playing the entire time. The physicality is like a real concern, and it is something that now everybody is unnoticed about because they are picking him up full court. They are playing him hard. In this game, I thought that he would respond. This was clearly a personal game for Monte Morris, where he was doing a lot of one-on-one type of plays with Jamal. Jamal was trying to go at him, was not working.
Yeah.
Monte clearly wanted to have that assignment in that matchup. Also, another part of why I feel like the vibes are down, especially with Murray out there right now. One, he did not get the two-man going with Jokic in this game. Jokic was also very visibly upset. Not with Jamal per se, but just that was a big thing that you got to notice is he's upset out loud. He's mad about the play. He's wanting to call guys out more. I feel like as a guard, you got to try to get your guy into it mentally. So, I was not high on Jamal. I really did not think this was a good Jamal game. I really do think that they just have to try to find ways to have him work. And I think the staggering is what you would have to do right now. I'm not saying bench Jamal right now, but stagger him so that you're not exposing him in the same ways and you could get some type of continuity where he can still get his shots going. He's going against different second units possibly, defensively, but also you're seeing what the vibe looks like with that team that's been playing well.
But here's the thing, Jamal was playing with the second unit and the ball was taken out of his hands and he just was just a passenger. He's just, I don't know. I mean,
well, you were very frustrated with him. I'm surprised you're kind of going.
I'm incredibly frustrated with him because I feel, I am the most ardent defender of Jamal. I am the biggest believer in his talent. I am the biggest. I just love what he's done for the city. I just think that he is an important piece of the Denver Nuggets, obviously, and just the tapestry of Denver. And I hate all of the negativity against him. But he was horrible. He just didn't do anything. He didn't bring any juice. He was juiceless on Christmas. He wasn't aggressive. He wasn't trying to make anything happen. Like Dev said, there was no two-man game ever. I suspect his ankle is probably bothering him a little bit. But don't play. Just don't play if that's the case. I appreciate the warrior attitude, but it just, there were just so many opportunities. There were so many moments where it was all right, cool. We've got this under control. The Suns had their little run. That was cute. Let's get it back. And just no one stepped up. And every time it was just some ridiculous breakdown defensively, a 3-point shooter not being covered, 15 rebounds in a row by the Suns, just a comedy of errors. And I'm not putting it all on Jamal, but again, he was the only difference between this game and last game. And somehow him playing, being the only guy inserted, it means that other guys off the bench who performed really admirably last game didn't get any run. Pickett, Tyson, all these guys. It's not all on Jamal, but I just expect more from him. He's just I just want more from that guy.
Well, one thing about superstars is they can get shots up. He played 40 minutes tonight and got 10 shots up.
The whole game.
Because he can't. He can't get free to get a shot up. That's a scary part of this whole equation.
Yeah, but even if you think about him only getting 10 shots up, they were visibly slower tonight than they have been.
So slow.
They did not push the pace. There was a lot of Murray having to make decisions. Even in those 10 shots, a few of them were heaves at the buzzer.
Yeah.
A lot of his plays come at the buzzer. A lot of his is hot potato at the last second where a guy, he'll get it late because he's dribbling too much or they have to start from half court because of a reset. They just move a lot slower with them out there. And I think that's the style, the brand that he plays. A lot of nights it works, but lately it has not been working. This season it has not been working. So there really does have to be a mixture of the two. Especially in these opportunities where you can run, when you do have the opportunity to get yourself going, and they don't have that right now. So that is something that really did stand out, is how slow they're getting into every single set right now.
Yeah. And I think unfortunately the scary part is that it's repeatable. Just putting him in full court pressure, getting physical with him, there's just not a lot of room to wiggle right there. All right, let's take our second break. There's more players to get to, including Christian Braun, who sneaky. Remember when he was having 10 games every night? Sneaky in a
Brown
little rut.
Down.
With Empire Today, you get shop-at-home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a price match guarantee. Empire Today is the best place to get new flooring. They do have copycats. They can't beat them, though, on quality, service, and speed. You'll see them advertising low-quality products that they wouldn't even bother to carry at Empire today. They wouldn't put it in their home. They're not going to put it in yours. Their philosophy is to help you find what you need, not overwhelm you with thousands of choices and substitutes. The virtual floor designer is a great way to take a look at just the vibe and the look without making any commitments, which is obviously a big deal in flooring. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use the promo code DNVR. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/DNVR for details. And when the Nuggets win, I reach for the Miller Lite. And when the Nuggets lose,
Reach for a bucket of it.
I reach for a bucket of Miller Lite. I like Miller Lite because it's the first light beer. They know what they're doing. They haven't changed it, actually, because they haven't had to. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The original light beer since 1975. It's a light beer that tastes like beer. It's less filling, only 96 calories, and man, I used to not understand the light beer wave at all. Then I turned about 29 a couple of years ago. One beer makes you 1 unit of beer fatter, it turns out. So unless you're rocking with Miller Lite. Times change, but you can always enjoy the great taste of Miller Lite. It tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/DNVR, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories for 12 ounces.
All right, we're back here, segment 3. Let's talk a little Nikola Jokic. And first, can we throw it to Kevin Durant real quick? Let's hear what he has to say about old Jokic.
Arguably the best player in the world, top 10 player of all time, and Jokic. So we got our work was cut out for us to start this game, but I like how we finished. They're a physical team.
KD has sneaky been on a little Jokic tour lately.
Congratulations to Nuggets Nation for bullying KD after the Olympics comments into admitting that Jokic is a top 10 player and arguably the best player in the league. Kudos to you.
Yeah, kudos to you. I got another thing for you here that's kind of pertinent for Jokic. Bring up his shot clock tonight, or his shot chart tonight. Not a lot at the basket. Almost everything outside the restricted area. He did get 2 ones right there at the restricted area. Everything else kind of just extended out. And I think this is another kind of difference, with Jokic. I think Russ does get into the paint and gets him a lot of shots, and when he's not there, he's not. So either one of those two things you want to run with tonight.
Well, just that. I mean, I think Murray has gotten Jokic into the paint in the past as well. Maybe he didn't tonight. I mean, if you could look at Jokic's performance, you'd go, maybe that was missing. Just the 4 to 5 possessions where he plants himself there, sort of regardless of what is working against him, and makes it happen. Again, to be clear, very, very, very low on my totem pole of blame here. But that part of it did feel missing for sure. Sometimes it feels like when certain things are sloppy, like turnovers, defense, rebounding, sometimes it's as if he's like, I'm not going to get myself beat up for this. You guys can't even throw an entry.
I agree.
You guys can't even throw an entry pass. So maybe there was some of it tonight. But 2 assists is the number. Second game in the last game, it didn't matter, right? They won big. 2 assists though again, which just tells you something wasn't quite right with the offense.
The big fella's frustrated. He truly is frustrated. And if you even look at Jokic's whole season, he's had to adjust more than anyone else because of the way that his guys are playing. Each night they're trying to get a new guy going while playing Jokic brand of basketball. This hasn't been Jokic's brand of basketball. I think that he's on the perimeter a lot more because, 1, they can't get it to him in the post. 2, he has to be a bruiser this year. There's not spacing because guys aren't making shots. He's not able to get it in his spots and get ISOs and cuts and backdoors and things like that. So now it's forcing him to have to use force a lot of times or try to work in different ways than we're accustomed to. It's actually it's good that his shot is falling because he will be even more frustrated because if that's not falling and he's not able to get into the paint, the double team is coming and guys aren't making him pay. He's having 2 assists, 1 assist, 3. That's not Jokic. That's not Nuggets. That's not the brand of basketball that we're used to seeing for him. So I think a lot of it is frustration from having to adapt so many times that we're not seeing the same type of Jokic right now.
Yeah.
You don't have anything on Yoke?
I mean, I feel bad for Yoke, obviously, but I mean, he wasn't like particularly aggressive tonight either.
I think that's his point, though, is that in a lot of these games, especially recently, it has felt like he's almost been more on the perimeter where you're like, be aggressive, but he almost looks too frustrated to be aggressive.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of armchair psychology to play in that. But I was just kind of frustrated by everybody's effort tonight. I think you guys are probably right. But at the same point in time, it's like, okay, like rise up. I know that you can do it.
Yeah.
Like, so just take the team on your back. I'm sorry they suck. Like, but they do. So be the guy. But obviously, I'm not mad at Jokic. But everybody. I don't know.
PWAT and Christian Braun tonight were really rough. They combined 2 of 10, 0 of 3 from PWAT in 24 minutes, 2 of 7 from Christian Braun. The confidence looks pretty rattled from Christian Braun right now. Like early in the year, he's hitting everything. He's shooting with confidence. He's doing some stuff. Right now, he looks shook. He looks rattled.
He does look shook. You know why he looks shook? Have you looked at his 3-point shooting in December?
I saw somebody tweeted out like 2 of 20 or something like that.
He's like 3 of like 21 or 3 of 22 for December. He hasn't made shots in a long time, and that does something for you mentally. Also, his defense is down.
Yeah.
I think that the confidence is down on that as well when you are starting to overthink shots. Mm-hmm. He's turning down shots. He's not finishing in the same ways that he was the entire time. Where you start to second guess yourself. It feels like everybody's turning the corner on him and finishing. They're baiting him into fouls. He's getting a lot more of those like smack your lips type fouls. Like why? What were you even doing there? Like a couple of push throughs where they go and finish it anyway. This is a rough patch for Christian Braun. He has to get back into the defense like that. That's him and Peyton Watson. They have to hang their heads on defense because that's how the Nuggets are going to be better. That's how they're going to be better, and it gives them extra minutes. It truly does suck right now that everyone keeps getting hurt, that Christian Braun is now having to play. I mean, like, I feel like they're trying to extend his minutes, even though he only played 28 in this one, but they're trying to find different ways. He's not able to guard small forwards right now, so they're not putting him on small forwards or playing him in those type of minutes. So now his minutes are even more limited, where you're now second-guessing yourself even more. So you want to see shots falling, but you definitely want to see him finally get a stop, and he just hasn't gotten it in a while.
Yeah, like he's lost something. Like he's just like it's hard to put your finger on it exactly. I mean, it's confidence, but like why it's dropped off so precipitously is confusing because we saw this out of him last year. Hot streak, cold stretch for a long time. And I kind of thought he'd grown out of it. Like the way he started the season was just so inspiring. Like he was cutting at the right time. He was making 3-point shots. People were charging at him and he was blowing right by them, going right to the cup. And it's just like, you don't see any of that right now. And
you know one thing, though, with Christian, he leads the team by a good margin in fast break points.
Yeah.
And the Nuggets didn't have any transition tonight. And not even fast break points. There's fast break points, but then another thing that's big for him is they run chase action with him when Jokic brings the ball up, which means Jokic brings it up along the sideline and he sets the screen so Jokic can either turn the corner and turn it into a post up. But usually what happens is Christian sets that just long enough to slip it to the basket, and he gets like 4 points a game by that. But to get that, you have to have a transition possession. They just didn't get any stops tonight, so there was no transition.
Yes, I agree with that. Also, he missed his layups too, which felt just painful. Yeah. Down to 38%, I think, on the year from 3 now after this December, which is tough. But that, I think, would all be fine if he was defending at a high level. And I thought last game a little bit better in the first half. Pelicans game much better in the final 2 periods. Tonight, you know, got to rewatch this stuff always, but it felt too easy for Bradley Beal tonight. And I just thought maybe that was an assignment Christian could have had a big impact on.
Yeah, Bradley Beal was not bothered tonight.
He's done a good job of stopping drives this season for the most part, Christian, but tonight it just felt like it was a little too easy at times for Bradley, and some of that was MPJ on switches as well, to be fair. But yeah, I think you can live with 5 points from Christian if there's 3 offensive rebounds and he's playing great defense, but you didn't get that tonight. and it certainly was a lackluster performance.
Michael Malone has a tough job because there really is like how many real guys are left at the moment, especially if AG's out, which we'll get to in the next segment. But I have a really, really, really wild take that I don't even know if I believe it, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. Julian Strawther to me, this part's not the wild part. Julian Strawther to me has two major compromises. He can't rebound. He always gets crushed on the boards, and he can't defend. He really struggles on ball and off ball defensively. What he can do is score, but when you play him 18 minutes, get 5 points, is it really worth it? Part of me goes, Pickett's only really had 2 good games. I wonder if there's just a game you throw him in Julian's spot. Say, you know what, Julian, you're off tonight, but that's the guard that you can put out there. It's not like Pickett's going to score a bunch of points, but he's a low mistake player. He gives you another ball handler. I watch Julian and I go, I don't know what he brings to the table unless he makes shots, and he doesn't really make shots.
He doesn't really make shots, and also, I mean, we have seen Jalen Pickett make shots, but also it's the high IQ. They're also not attacking him the entire time.
Right.
And
yeah.
Strawther does get attacked. So like that's the goal. When he's out there, every single other team is like, hey, this is a guy that you could go at the entire time. And you even just talked about a lot. He's not bringing rebounds. He's not scoring. He's not shooting the 3 ball. What is he doing good out there then? Like, really, right now, it's just about, I guess, getting him minutes, getting him time to, like, try to learn. But really, it's hurting the team right now if he can't be aggressive and try to shoot himself out of those slumps or try to get the ball up just to see if shots fall. But also, he has to take a step in the right direction defensively. He really does. And I feel like at times they call out other people for their defensive effort. He's going to have to play a lot better because he does have the intangibles. He's long, he's athletic, he's tall, he could get to spots. But, like, it's a lot of low IQ plays on top of that. I do think that they should give you a Jalen Pickett at times just change it up. Just change it up.
The Julian play that was really killed me, missed the rotation on Mason Plumlee, then fouls him in a way that Plumlee can finish. Plumlee has no touch, so if you foul him so that Plumlee gets an and one, it's like, come on, man.
The problem I'm having right now with all of the role players, the bit players, Project Dynasty in general, is that they're great when things are going well.
Yeah.
And they're not bringing, like, if things are going badly, they are even worse.
Right,
Than
yeah.
The culminate, like the total of whatever everyone else is bringing. Like, they don't right now have the ability to bring extra effort and heart and hustle to try and right the ship, and it's really all on the top level players, which is not uncommon. But like, these are guys we're hoping develop into. I mean, we call them Project Dynasty. They are guys we are hoping bring the juice and help the Denver Nuggets get over the top. And you know, they're really just like fair weather players right now. If things are going great, last game, you know, everything's going in for the Nuggets. Like, all of those guys look great. Saw people describe it as a Booth masterclass. This game, things aren't going well. They are so invisible, and not even just invisible. They are a detriment. Just like really terrible turnovers, not making plays. Julian Strawther, like he made, what did he make? 1-3. Peyton Watson, like, right now, every time he's shooting the ball too, you're like, please just don't, like, you just have no confidence in anything these guys are doing, and you just like want them to take that next step and not be dependent players, but be players that can bring it. And so obviously we're only a third of the way through the second season for a lot of these guys, so you can't be too critical, but like, this game sucked, man. And like, when often, like, if your top guys aren't playing well and you start to look down the bench, and you're like, who's going to help us? Like, who's going to help us? And right now, there's just that list is, there's no one on that list. Russell Westbrook. And, you know, he's Russell Westbrook.
Yeah. Do you have a Project Dynasty take on any of the guys?
I mean, just the thing about Julian right now is there's a difference between how you feel about him as a prospect and as the 8th guy in the rotation right now on December 25th. And the former, I think, if you want to, you can see what Julian might be offensively. You know, I can get there, but I just think the lows are going to be really, really low for him as a guy who is in the plans, right? In the master plans for the rotation going forward. And for me, that's kind of why I focus on Julian so much. as opposed to maybe say Zeke Naji or whatever. They're trying to get to 7.5, 8 guys. One of them is supposed to be Julian. I mean, it'd be great if one would be Zeke. It's not. We know that.
Well, I mean, that's the one we do
We
know.
know that. One of them is supposed to be Julian. A couple of better performances from the bench of late. Tonight was not one of them. And, I thought defensively they weren't very good. And maybe if they were, they could have mitigated what didn't go well offensively. And I didn't think they were very good defensively tonight.
Make one quick excuse. It was the third game in 4 nights.
Okay, listen.
The third game in 4 nights, man. Those are always
Christmas.
Tough. It's Christmas. It's third game in 4 nights. Well, buck up, because guess what's coming up? Another back-to-back. Why not? Friday and Saturday.
Why not?
Including our takeover.
We've had just weeks off for no good reason. Now it's just, let's get back-to-backs, shall we?
We're going to take a break. On the other side, we'll get Super Chats. But before we do, we're going to talk about Aaron Gordon, who left the game with a calf strain.
Is there one piece of good news from tonight?
Oh, no.
Let's everyone think about one piece of good news. from
Squint
tonight.
for silver linings?
Yes.
Okay.
I've got some good news. Went to Live Well last night. Turns out you can still use the code DNVR25. You can get 25% off. There's also 25 convenient Colorado dispensary locations under the Live Well banner with a premium selection and expert service that await you. Their knowledgeable, supportive staff are there to help you on your journey. Visit a Live Well dispensary to learn more about their wide selection of cannabis flower, edibles, concentrates, and more. Live Well proudly offers a price match guarantee, ensuring you get the best value by matching local competitors' prices on eligible products. Of course, if you place an order online, you can still redeem code DNVR25 at pickup to receive the discount. Again, mention code DNVR25 in store. Get 25% off one regular price item. Restrictions do apply. And earlier in the night, we gave you our big takeaways.
Really quickly, can I tell you something? My family and I, this is what we've devolved into, or evolved into, I should say. We had a white elephant exchange for gifts for the adults. The kids all get presents. White elephant. Everybody buys one gift.
Yeah.
You can have the opportunity to steal. Guess what I ended up with?
What?
A huge bag of weed from Live Well.
That's awesome.
I got 3 tins of gummies and 2 chocolate bars. I'm not sure if the code was used, but it came in a Live Well bag, and I was holly jolly.
Denver's best roofers have joined the DNVR team. They sponsored the big takeaways if you were paying attention, and here they are again. Red Hawk Roofing, quality materials, decades of experience, quick response time, Colorado's best estimators and contractors. Huge DNVR supporters, huge Nuggets fans, just as mad as you are tonight.
Probably madder, dude.
Maybe madder.
Plus they have hammers.
Free, no obligation roof and property inspections. Free in-depth photo reports for all inspections. Supporting your local teams means also supporting local businesses like Red Hawk Roofing. If you're looking for a new roof over your home or business, be sure to check out Red Hawk Roofing at redhawkroofing.com or call 720-771-8921. Tell them that DNVR sent you.
We back?
We're back.
Aaron Gordon leaves the game in the third quarter. Calf strain, did not return. After the game, Michael Malone said, we'll see if he'll be ready to go by Friday. So, not ruling anything out. But I'll tell you this. 9 times out of 10, coaches go to the podium. They don't actually have an update at all.
Yeah.
So that I would take all of that as nothing. But calf strains don't go away. They're like hamstrings, man. Hamstrings, calf strains. He's already dealt with it once. He missed GABA games. This one to me is scary because AG has not had the same explosiveness all year. You could tell he's been dealing with a little something physical. So now you go to this, man. I feel like this one is a real bummer, or the potential to be a real bummer.
This is what scares me the most about tonight.
Losing AG
is
maybe potentially,
but just that it's the right calf. Just that it's maybe he's okay, right? But it's the same calf that's been plaguing him since the start of the preseason. And part of the story has been, they haven't had their starting lineup together. It's been Jamal and AG for like 2-3 games at a time, and then they're hurt again. Not necessarily putting that on them. It's just frustrating. You worry about the calf, man. Is this something that's going to nag him all year? Is it an extended break going into the All-Star break, and the All-Star break he can get healthy? That's my biggest concern coming out of this game, is you just hope AG is available, because enough of the musical chairs. You gotta be able to know who's there every night and build from that.
It's something that you should definitely worry about. It's not only the musical chairs, it's like the available pieces that they have behind him. They are very, very undersized with the guys that they're going with. And then you're playing DeAndre Jordan as the actual backup option. And then you have guys that are playing way out of position. You have Peyton Watson at the 4. He's having to defend the fours. That's difficult for him. He's not that big. You have Christian Braun stepping over and playing there. You're not playing Zeke Nnaji. You're not playing Dario Saric. You don't have those other options. So not having AG there means that you have to play the DeAndre Jordan more minutes and other guys out of position, and that's been an issue the entire year, especially defensively. You're missing your defensive anchor, and now you're making guys play more difficult defense. So you're seeing Christian Braun get burned more. You're seeing Peyton Watson get burned more, and they have difficult matchups. Tonight they had Peyton Watson having to guard, Kevin Durant, which he has defended him well.
That's my favorite matchup for him, honestly.
But you can't do that every single time. You just can't. Like with anybody, you just can't do that. So, I just feel like the depth makes it very difficult there. And they already are playing less and less guys. And now you have, even more less guys that you're playing. So you want them to get right. You want them to get healthy so there can be some continuity, and you're not getting it right now if you have another guy that has to, miss some time potentially.
I thought of a silver lining.
What is it?
One bright spot. I'm not even on that graphic. Earlier in the season, when AG was out, Peyton Watson
I was just had it
stood
up. I
in
just
for
had the
him.
You
numbers.
go, D-line.
And there's something about knowing what your role is versus trying to figure it out on the fly. And he performed admirably, and he actually got a lot of confidence from it, and it has propelled him to the wall that he hit tonight. I think that there's something about just kind of like understanding what you are supposed to do, not trying to figure it out on the fly,
Right.
that is actually going to be beneficial for a Peyton Watson. Obviously, you don't want AG to miss time, but this could be a good thing in some ways because it could actually strengthen the base of the team. And that's all I've got. That's the one silver lining I was able to come up with, and I just came up with it right before I said it.
Well, I'll tell you what's interesting about that to me. So in that 10-game stretch that Aaron Gordon missed, he played 31 and a half minutes a game. It was a lot of minutes. And, of course, it's starter minutes, so it makes sense that he would play a lot. Averaged 12 and a half points a game, which was pretty good. Shot 42% from three. So to your point, I always talk about confidence, these things being so important. Knowing, okay, I'm playing tonight, I'm going to have these roll, I'm going to have this minute. It really does make a difference. But more concerning to me is AG comes back from that injury. He played great. If you recall, Peyton Watson played great. Some of their best wins came in that stretch. Oklahoma City, Miami, Laker blowout win. They had some good games. They did have a couple of bad ones in there. But I look at that and I go, Peyton had real momentum, and when he got reduced, he actually got reduced to below the minutes he was playing before the AG injury, down to about 18, I think, following that. So I look at that one and I go, I agree with you. That was one thing I did think about was, well, maybe this will get PWAT going and this or that if the Nuggets can survive it. But part of me goes, I thought we were already over the hump with Peyton a little bit. Then he gets reduced, and he's played bad since the reduction.
Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be an over the hump for Peyton this season because of that.
Even if he plays well, he's still going to be an 18-minute per game guy.
Two different worlds, right? The world where AG's out and you get to spot start next to Jokic and life's easier.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that he can be effective in that role. But I don't, when they're healthiest, he's not in that role. And so there is just...
Ready to tarnish my silver lining, bro.
Sorry, brother. That's my bad.
I could come up with.
Look, if it helps him build some confidence, that'd be awesome. But I do think there's just a little bit of, when he's with the bench, he's going to be in search mode. What's my role tonight? How do I make my impact tonight? When do I press the green button? And I understand that. I don't put that all on him. I just think that's his reality this year.
All right, we got 30 super chats to go
Jesus
through.
God, you guys.
Christmas, man. People
I
in the
love it,
Christmas
dude.
spirit.
Merry Christmas.
7
you
more minutes of
absolute
Christmas.
Savages.
All right, what do we got? Mr. Exquisite Nugget. Wish we got the W. Got a long show for me tonight. No, Kale, why you got to jinx us versus the Suns? Yeah, Kale, come on.
Yeah,
dude.
Kale.
Kale, what the
Kale.
hell,
We didn't even
man?
break
Kale.
down Kale yet.
Come on,
Dude,
Kale.
Oh
break him
yeah,
down.
I've got a few. We'll get into it later.
It wasn't gone. It wasn't done.
I don't think Kale cares, man. Vote, we got a collab. Check your DMs, my G. Let's Bruce Brown. Ryan Mordecai. Happy Festivus. KD called Jokic top 10 all time in postgame. Respect.
Hey, respect, man.
Nash Sweden getting too high after each win. Back to reality. Trades needed. Jamal's contract is hurting the team. Wish he could be traded this season. Merry Xmas. Or we're getting too low after each loss.
Okay.
How will we know? We'll wait till the next
I
game.
love this vote.
We'll wait till the next game. Big Honey. Suns just grabbed an offensive board again.
Oh, man,
when it
again?
matters.
They just grabbed another one?
Cedric again. Suns. Eric equals Beal. Kale equals Booker. Dev equals Nurk. Adam equals KD. Vogt's not on the Suns.
You know what? You got the best of that one.
Bang! Ryan B. Kristen Brown, 13% from 3 in December.
13? Oh, my God.
13%.
And that is not good. Josh Bonnet from Down
Down
Under.
Under.
Jamal, put an egg on my D-line's faces.
On mine and D-line's face, this
no.
extra. FML. We
You
got
don't even like
egg
egg,
all
bro.
over our faces.
Vladislav, Malone's worst coaching job of the season. Grinch.
I mean, what do you do?
Big Honey, today's game was like how the Grinch stole Christmas, except he never grew a heart and never came back with all the gifts that he stole from
You know
Nuggets
what the worst
fans.
part about this is? This happens to us all the time. Yeah, here. Yeah. Spent a lot of time on a graphic.
Oh,
I
I know. We had a good one.
We had a whole conversation about it. It's
Yeah.
appropriate. Back and forth. Garbage can.
Garbage. Has to go away.
This is actually Cedric again. No, Eric says as we go down, we'll return. Yvonne MBG 62. Every L is the same. Too many turnovers and nobody effing rebounds. Project bullshit continues. Silver linings 0. Brown Town, Bricktown. Early
goes. Let it out.
dribbling
There
for
it is.
15 seconds.
Yeah, dude.
Selfish, overrated, complicating ass.
You're right.
is
Everything.
it?
You're right about all of it. Let it out.
Except for it's not Project Bullshit. You should say like Die Nasty.
Yeah, dude. Or
Oh yeah.
I think that's what you would call it.
Project Dingus. Something. It's got to be like a yeah.
Dean Georgaris, Adam, you've said all season this would be an up and down year, but I think we've seen enough. This is not a serious team. Scheme is bad. Offense was 4 non-movers. Win must be going nuts.
I'll tell you what though. Every team is up and down. Every single one, us included.
Infinite Mugen, right? Yeah. Sometimes you got to just grab a bad coach and send him packing. Tired of personnel around Jokic that have not proven they belong in the NBA without him.
I know. Well, I'm not going to fight any of these. You're all right. Everyone's bad. Everyone sucks. Fire them, trade them, or murder them. Those are the options.
Mike P. Jay, worst part for me, my younger stepbro is talking nonstop shit. Here's hoping I don't have to drink away Friday's game with you guys. Merry Christmas to my fellow sickos in the Christmas chat.
I mean, we'll drink it away either way.
We were living that sweet life Friday.
Yvonne, NBG 62, no paycheck for a month for most of the team until they learn how to rebound and not turn the ball over.
Tell him, Yoke.
Murray is complicating more than Russ. 55555-ish.
Sometimes true.
Merry Christmas. Just remember, no matter how bad you have it, there's always someone who's worse off.
Like
Zeke. Win Friday and the vibes will be back.
Where are we at on that minute count?
No update
I think they're
tonight.
going up now. Like he's subtracting minutes at
We
a
have
certain
more
point.
minutes to go.
Mike P., the national narrative hasn't been set yet. The Nuggets are coming close to letting Kendrick Perkins' halftime comments set the national narrative.
So at halftime today, Kendrick Perkins, it's noteworthy to me, like, again, it's Kendrick Perkins, but he says the problems with the team right now are Jamal's not playing up to the stuff, and Michael Malone has not ever figured out how to get a bench unit. Again, just from national narrative's perspective, he's right. That is going to become the thing people run with. So
I'm sure
we
he
got
was-
our first Malone
But
attack.
I'm sure he was
There's a
like,
lot to it.
"Hey man, you don't let a chicken get stuck in molasses if you don't have a plan to get him out."
What is that, Kendrick Perkins?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want to go. I didn't want to do the full.
I appreciate the audible.
But
DJ
just
C.
just the
Pickett or Zeke, who would have helped us tonight? For real. I don't know, man.
Probably neither, but
Denver Thuggett, this one was on me, fellas. I broke my golden rule and put the Nuggets in my parlay. In my
you
bad. I'll do
idiot.
better.
Why would you do that? It's Christmas,
You
man.
just didn't care about any of us.
Come
on,
on,
brother.
Look how
That you
stupid
didn't
we
selfish
look.
of
Yeah,
you.
how dumb I look.
Dean Georgaris, our starting point guard, can't bring the ball up against pressure. That's a high school issue. How could an NBA team say that? Insanity.
Dude, I saw Teen Wolf bring up against pressure, no problem.
No problem.
Teen Wolf.
Yvonne NBG 62, Malone and Denver media are babysitting Murray. He slows down the whole team. I think he's been criticized.
Would you guys
this
ask
year.
him one tough question? Ask him a tough question. Hold him accountable.
I'm sorry. Traquan Mourns. When Murray is struggling, Denver needs another solid 2 with Murray. That backcourt is ass. With him and CB, shake my head.
He was pissed.
I love an angry super chat. Listen. If I wasn't on this show, I would be
That would-
draining
yeah.
my bank account
Totally.
with
Angry.
terrible,
Just yelling
angry.
at everyone. Christoph Serbiak. I would exchange all the socks I got for this win.
Oh man, all of them.
All the socks?
You got a lot of socks?
What you get on Christmas?
Druid trading $185 million salaries, and Westbrook is our second best player.
He was tonight, and he sucked.
Guys like Watson, Braun, Strother can't rebound, shoot, and dribble. I can see why international players are dominating. We are learning fundamentals from an early age. What are they doing at college?
Drinking, like the rest of us.
Christoph, so much sacrifice. I stayed all night drinking vodka with my uncles to watch this game until 4:30 a.m.
Oh, man.
I run out of juice for chasers, and this game didn't give me any. All the takes are hungover.
This was a juiceless, chaserless game.
At least you were with your
vodka.
family, though.
Yeah.
Man, it's about that quality time.
At least you were all hungover and mad together. Tamir Tahir, CB and PWAT have been up and down, but I'm more disappointed in their effort. CB used to get O boards. He did get 3 tonight, to be fair.
Okay, all right.
And PWAT used to get like 2 crazy blocks per game.
I know, dude. Ugh.
Christoph again. Today I ate more pierogi.
We
I
know
love
what-
that that's in caps. Than Murray had points, and I don't even like pierogi. I need to switch to pickles for Pickett. No, Eric.
No, Eric.
No, Eric.
Finally, a good point.
Devout Yokigamist Lumi. Murray is 34.9 from 3 this season. D'Lo is 35.3.
That's what Wemby's shooting.
Yvonne,
Was this like a take at Murray, or was it like to bring D'Lo up?
Both. Yeah,
I think it was
D'Lo's
about Murray.
up
I
or
think
Murray's
it was
down. What is
about-
it?
I think it was about a low bar being matched. Yvonne NBG 62. 9 years in the league, and we are still talking about Murray getting in shape. I'm sorry that Porter will be the scapegoat in trade talks because Murray lacks professionalism. Bench Murray ASAP. One last one from Yvonne, who had a lot to say. Merry Christmas, guys. from Belgrade. What a great note to end
Dude,
on.
that's what it is. You drink, you get out the evil and the poison at the end. I love you guys.
Yeah. All right. Hit that outro music. My wife texted me while this game was going on.
My
my
wife.
wife. You know what we're doing tomorrow?
Shooting free throws.
Sledding.
Sledding, you guys.
You should invite
Hell
P-Wop.
Real sledding. I should hit up PWAT, man.
He's gonna say no, but you should do it. Yeah.
I'm going real life sledding, man. That game sucked.
I know.
Christmas ruined. But Christmas is over. That
Flush
game was,
it out.
That game was yesterday. You
I know,
guys.
dude. That's like.
That's old
Are
stuff.
you
That
guys
game
still
was
talking about this?
yesterday.
You're still talking
I'm
about
not
this?
actually. I'm talking about sledding.
We're talking about old stuff on this show, man.
Everybody enjoy a day off tomorrow. We're going to be back Friday. We got the takeover, man. Should be a takeover Friday. It's a sweet one. And it's against the Cavs. Another huge test, man, for our beloved Denver Nuggets and a chance for them to bounce
I'm going to
back.
go enjoy my Christmas present, which again was a huge bag of weed.
Hit that like button on the way out.
We all silly like the mayor.